everybody and welcome to July 2025, but this is June 2025 wrap up where we sit down and chat and natter about the month that we've just had. And I don't know about you, but I'm really realising just how these months are just merging.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah, flying, aren't they? Flying out there.
Yeah, definitely. So I did a list on, was it Sunday, of things with just bullet points to help us with this video, to give it some structure, and it was like, my God. So we've had some dramas, haven't we? Little dramas, don't we? Realisations, insights.
Yeah.
We've had the amazing majesty of Iceland. We've visited Iceland. We've visited Pizza Express.
Well, like Prince Andrew.
Yeah, we've visited Belfast. We've visited northern Scotland. Yeah, we've been on a cruise. We've had my birthday and the solstice. Yep. So let's get to it.
Yep.
Beginning of the month, we went to Leeds to catch up with my family because my niece was born on the same day as me. So we went to give her her present and stuff. And we went to Pizza Express, didn't we?
Yeah, so the night before, we drove up and we spent the night and then we were going to see him the next day, weren't we? Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, Claire loves a pizza. We all both loved pizza. And we were going to just go to Nando's, weren't we? And I said, oh, and I looked at the menu and they're supposed to do gluten-free pizzas and dairy-free pizzas. And it's like, whoa, winner, we'll try that. And it was dairy-free, it was pizza-free, gluten-free pizzas, but then we ordered some chips.
There was, they're called pancetta or panaketta chips. And we didn't think of it. You know, we told the waitress, didn't we, about gluten-free and dairy-free and all that jazz.
Yeah, so we assumed that they take that on board. That everything should be gluten and dairy-free. But the chips came with cheese. So I said, oh, no cheese on the chips for me, please, because I can't have dairy. And Claire had hers with, hers with cheese. And it wasn't until a bit after, I had a bit of a stomachache, didn't I? My guts were rolling a bit. And I said, I'm not sure about those chips. They were a bit wheaty.
Yeah, they were a bit different. Like, you could tell there was a coating on them and inside they tasted different. And we'd never heard of those chips before. So we said, they'd be all right, but let's just Google it. And you know, when you Google it, your ass falls out. And it was like, oh, they've got wheat in.
They had wheat in. Oh, well, I'm still alive. But it's just something to bear in mind. Don't trust waiters and waitresses.
We're finding this. You cannot trust waiters and waitresses, and you can't trust chefs and cooks. So you can't. It's actually quite scary, isn't it? The amount of places we're going to. Even the cruise that we've just been on, where the knowledge of allergens is beyond zero.
So they gave me the allergen book, which is like a massive folding one that big. It's like that thick, and it tells you all the allergens that's in everything. And you know what? I couldn't be bothered. It's their restaurant. Surely they should know what is in each dish. And something as simple as chips. I know they were posh chips, but something that's people order quite a lot. They should have known that there was gluten in there, I'd like to think. And I shouldn't have to go through a thing, I want chips. Or is there gluten in the chips? Oh, yes.
We've had this before in, I can't remember which restaurant it was in, and they give us this horrendous pile of allergens, and it's like, we've said that now, if we go somewhere and they come out with that folder, we're leaving, because it straight away tells me they're putting the onus on you. And yeah, you do have to be responsible, but how, you know, you watch these things like, you know, what's his name, Gordon Ramsay, they're always banging on about the waitresses, waiters, knowing what's on their menu and what's in it, and being able to talk about the menu. They really have no idea.
No. Yeah, some of the more complicated dishes, I can live with that, and yeah, I'll have a look through. But some as simple as this, a side of chips. I know, like I said, it was a posh side of chips, but still, it's probably a ubiquitous item that people order. They should know that there's gluten in those. I'd like to think. Shouldn't they? Shouldn't they? I don't know.
I think they should. But afterwards, God, because it affects me in numerous ways. One of the ways it does is it gives me really bad allergies. Literally, wasn't I streaming?
Oh, yeah.
Like, literally could not breathe afterwards because of the wheat in those chips. It was unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We wouldn't have put it down to that unless I just like... I was eating them. I didn't eat all mine, I've got to admit, because I started...
God.
I started to think, I'm not sure about these. I'm really not. Because they just felt like coated chips. And usually when you get coated chips, it's coated with wheat of some description. Like breadcrumby. It was weird. But yeah, I'm not going to Pizza Express again.
It's disappointing, isn't it?
Sticks and Nando's.
And then we had a week where we were literally working our socks off and packing for the cruise that we've just been on, which will be more about that in other content on the channel over the next few weeks, months, years. It should be better now because, you know...
Yeah, it won't be September when they go up this year.
We worked our socks off that week to get content.
We did, yes.
To make sure that there was enough content out there for people to enjoy. I know not on this channel, but this channel is very different. But I do keep saying that there is going to be more coming on here. It's just balancing 3 channels.
Microphone's dropping.
What he was doing then. Balancing.
Microphone's dropping, sorry. I'm conscious after doing the inspiration corners and getting the microphone caught on tops and things, it makes an absolutely horrific noise.
Balancing 3 YouTubes, your job, all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah, and then went on the cruise, and rather than talking about the cruise ship, because that's going to be coming in a separate video, we're going to be talking about the places that we visited and what we thought about them.
Yeah, and well, we can talk a little bit about the cruise ship if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to?
Let's save it until, because
Save it,
otherwise
okay.
we'll be repeating ourselves, and we do that a lot anyway. Belfast, strange place, isn't it?
Yeah, we didn't see much of it really, did we? Because we just decided we wanted to go to the Titanic Museum, didn't we? And so it's like, let's just do that. And it was quite busy, wasn't it? Getting off the ship, the shuttle buses were rammed. It was a bit horrific, and the queue was... It was just out of this world, and I just said to Claire, let's get a taxi. Not knowing...
Thankfully, that it was a good thing we bloody well did get a taxi. Because the magical mystery tour, we found out information on there, didn't we? Apparently, Belfast on a Sunday, the shops aren't open till 1 o'clock.
Oh, right, yes, sorry,
we did say we'd get on the shuttle, we'd get off in Belfast, have a tootle round the shops and then walk to the museum. But we got in a taxi, and number one, he informed us that there was like a great Run for Life, Race for Life on.
A 10k
so,
on,
yeah.
which was a very expensive taxi ride in the end.
And he informed us that Northern Ireland, I think it is, I don't know if it's the all of Ireland, they don't open their shops until 1. But the cruise never told us. So all those people that jumped and barged their way forward on the shuttles for the cruise ship to get into Belfast city centre, first thing, we're in for a shock.
I mean, it was. I think it's an hour walk from Belfast city centre to the Titanic Museum. I've got a feeling that they all just walked when they realised the entire town was shut. That they all walked to the museum. That's what I think, because the museum was very busy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
It was disappointing.
I'd waited a long time to see it, and every time we visited on a cruise ship, it's like, and it never worked. The last time we did it, I was ill, I had a cold, so I didn't get off ship. But I said, this time I want to go to this Titanic Museum, and I didn't like it. It was rammed full of people. Overstimulation to the max. You walk into these rooms, I think you go upstairs and you come down at the bottom, I think, something like that. And there's things on the walls, the roofs, the floor. There's things to listen to, touch, feel, smell. There's information overload, and it was just rammed.
Yes. It's literally, it's like having pictures on the walls, the ceilings, the floor. There was exhibits. There was hundreds of people in the way, so you couldn't see any of it. it was a bit overwhelming, wasn't it? And I got very little footage in there.
Yeah, you couldn't do it. You could not do it.
But it was impossible because how do you take pictures of the floor, the wall, the ceiling, a video that's playing over there and a video that's playing over there, and it was overstimulating. I've got some footage. I'll see what I can do with it. We went on to I can't remember what the ship's called.
Oh God, what's the ship called? That was one of the tenders that took people to it, like the Astors, I think it was, and Bruce Ismay.
Yeah. So it's the last surviving tender, anyway, the last White Star ship, and it's a tender, and it was a tender that took people out to the Titanic, and it's still whole and it's been preserved, and it's had a life, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So we had a look around there first, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we went to the museum proper, and yeah, it was just a bit overwhelming. And then there's a massive queuing thing, isn't there? Because there's a little bit of an experience, a bit like
you're going like a ride type.
It's very like Jorvik, where they've got a ride and you sit in it and you go through it and it tells a story. And in this, it tells you the story of how they build a ship. And you kind of go down and up and down and up.
I enjoyed that bit, but the queue for it and stuff.
Yeah.
There was one particular staff member that was bullying people, bullying other staff members, and we said afterward, didn't we, that it was almost like I'm not sure, because guess what? I didn't do my own work. I think it's in the place. Well, it is in the place, the docks, and we were talking about this and wondering if there was tension in the building of the Titanic between your highers and your uppers in relation to staff. And that energy is still there and affecting the current staff. But honestly, we've been, because I'm obsessed with Titanic, and we've been in quite a few now. We've been in the graveyard of Titanic, we've been in the museums, we've been in Nova Scotia, in Ireland, and obviously now Belfast. And it's the only one I've been in that's just felt like cold and like it is an attraction rather than a celebration, or I don't know, it just gave me the ick. It gave me the ick in so many ways.
I think the outside bit is where they launched Titanic. Where they smashed the bottle of champagne on the side and they launch it into the sea. Because that's where they built it. And then obviously, once they finished built it, they'll launch it into the sea and check it out. I think that outside bit is that. But again, it was difficult because there's so many people to get that kind of idea of what was going on. I recommend, if anybody wants to go to the Titanic Museum, to go on a quiet day.
If you can get one. Careful of the school holidays, careful of...
Well, it probably doesn't matter, does it? Because even during school hours, there'll probably be school trips going there. Yeah. So you'll get a busload of school children.
I sounded like that woman on that Megan podcast, didn't I? Yeah. Yet.
So yes, you ideally want to go when it's quiet, and you want to make sure you give yourself enough time, because we didn't feel we had enough. I didn't feel we had enough time as well, because we had to get a taxi back to the ship, and you always worry about timings on ships, don't you? We had loads of time in the end, but you worry about that when you're out and about, and we'll be able to get a taxi, blah de blah de blah. Thank God for Uber. That's all I can say. Yeah. But yeah, it was disappointing. I think the word is disappointing. Just the fact that they let too many people in. And they just overwhelmed the museum and made it a poor experience. A disappointingly poor experience because of overcrowding.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it is. So we couldn't really invest ourselves in the exhibits and pictures and the videos and the centuries of all of it. So hey, it is what it is. Tick.
And then we had 2 days at sea, and then we had a trip to the lagoons. I always wanted to go to the lagoons since forever, and started my period a couple of days before, wasn't it? 2 or 3 days before. And I'm at that age where it's unpredictable, it can be light and heavy, etc. And it was just like, I didn't end up going, but I went with you, didn't I? And I had a coffee, a nice Icelandic coffee. And you went into the pools, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to see me with my top off, there might be a vlog coming up with that.
It was interesting, wasn't it? Interesting. In a little bit of a tourist trap, wasn't it? We didn't realise that was going to be a tourist trap as much as it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was a real... correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the Sky Lagoon is a real
It's man-made.
geological lagoon. I think it's man-made. I think it's man-made. Alarm bells started to ring when a colleague at work said, "Oh, that's one that doesn't get affected when volcanoes erupt." It's like, oh, so it's not linked to the geological features, or I think it's just like a leisure centre. I don't know, but it felt that way. It was all fake.
It was nice. It looked nice.
It was beautiful. It was Instagram.
Yeah.
It was Instagram. What people would expect to put on their pictures on the Instagram. I'll try and do a vlog of it. See what it looks like. It won't be long, but we'll see what it is. I've done some video. How good that is! I've not had a look yet.
And the day after that was my birthday, and we booked a trip, didn't we? A ship trip. We went to some type of, what's it called, Gary?
So we went to a few places, didn't we? The first place we went to was a geothermal power station. So it is a power station that they send the water down into the rock to where the lava is and magma, and the heat from that heats the water up. They send it back up, and that's what drives the turbine, rather than the steam being generated from water being boiled in like a kettle by burning coal or oil or gas. So that was ultimately what they did. It was all very interesting for me. It was like,
I found it interesting.
like work. What's it called? A busman's holiday.
Yeah.
But it was okay. It was good. And then we went to like some where the water's at the surface. So that's where they put it into the land, and they use the deeper heat. We went to where they have geysers, and it's all in the surface. So it boils up every now and again and spews water out.
Interesting.
If you're in America, you've probably got wonderful ones. I think it's in Yellowstone Park. Is it Yellowstone
I don't
Park?
know.
Something like that. Yes. So they have massive geysers, and they have similar lagoons, I think, there, where you can go in there. It's like being in a hot tub. You sulphury water and all that kind of stuff. So I know for a fact, because I've read it in a Joe Pickett book, that you have somewhere up there near Yellowstone. Thank you, Joe Pickett.
It was interesting, wasn't it? And the whole thing of how green it is and how lush it is, and the black sand and black hills and black dust. And obviously, you've never been to Iceland. It's clean air. It's breathtaking. It is breathtaking, isn't it?
Well, it's like a new country, because it's being built as we speak. It's being enlarged because of the North Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Because we went to there as well, didn't we? We walked through it.
Yeah, so there's a point in Iceland where you can walk the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is, I don't know if you know much about plate tectonics. The Earth is covered in plates, like the crust, and they're either moving side by side, they're moving apart, or they're moving and being destroyed by each other. And that's how we get volcanoes, that's how we get earthquakes. Blah, 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 blah. So in this instance, in the middle of the Atlantic's slowly getting bigger. Is it 2 centimetres a year? Something like that. As the plates come apart, solid magma comes up, makes more land. And that Iceland's slowly getting bigger. So we walked through this trench where you could see the American plate and the Asia plate. Kind of in a visual. And it was very interesting. So I've got footage of that as well, so that should be good.
And the plants and flowers and herbs, I think he said one of them that was there near the tectonic plates was one of the most powerful medicines in the world. And it's like, you can just feel the energy of it. It's almost like they can sing to you and talk to you. It's bizarre. I loved it. And the mountains were volcanoes, were still having smoke coming out the top of them. And the little towns and villages aren't built like they are around here, like the United Kingdom. Like solid structures. They're more like put-up houses, aren't they? Because they know they could get taken down with a volcano or an earthquake at any point. But peaceful. And it's one of the least crime-infiltrated cities in the countries.
Reykjavik?
The world. Yeah, Reykjavik, all of it. Iceland. And you can feel that when you're walking around it. Very interesting.
Lovely place, wasn't it?
And then after that, we went to the waterfalls, didn't we?
So we went to another we went to another town as well, didn't we? Where we just got off and just looked around the town, and I can't remember its name off the top of my head. And we walked around the village.
Oh, I can't remember it.
I can't remember its name. It's a lovely, lovely little town, fishing village. Again, I've got some footage of a fishing museum. Whether I put anything together for that, how interesting it is, I'm not 100% sure.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a nice coffee, because the coffee on the ship was shit.
It was shit. To say it was Cunard, it was shit.
And we're not talking about the free coffee from the dispensers. We're talking about the coffee.
£5 a cup coffee.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Cat piss. Not if I drank cat piss, but if you drink cat piss, it'll taste like Cunard coffee.
Horrible. So we were enjoying coffees where we could. But yeah, so we had a coffee, didn't we? And we walked around the museum, looked around the old hospital. I'll see if I can remember that. I'll put it under there somewhere, the name of the place in this video. Make it work for myself here.
And then after that, we went to the waterfall, another bus tour.
So we went to the second busiest town.
To these waterfalls that were absolutely amazing.
Yeah, but that's not in the town.
I know, it went off.
Yeah, we went to the second biggest city in Iceland again.
Oh yeah,
in the
afternoon in the afternoon, you're making work for yourself.
I am, yes.
I'll put it under here.
But they're all very hard to say names, let's
Yeah.
put it that way. So I'll put it in writing and you can say how you like.
So we went around the city, didn't we? The town, and then in the afternoon we went to the waterfalls, was it?
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
We didn't walk around the town. We just... Did we?
Yeah. Where the library was and we did the coffee.
No, that was
We
the day
got all
before.
those cards.
That was the day before.
No, there was a bookshop.
Oh, I'm losing my track.
So we went to that one with the library
did,
and the
yes.
fishing village. Then went to another one where we went for a coffee, and the
We did.
guide said, "Keep going to the top of the hill and you'll get a coffee." And we did.
Claire's guide's not a local guide.
And we did. And then we went to a bookshop. So we went into a bookshop and got loads of tarot cards, which we're going to show you in a minute. And then in the afternoon we got back to ship because we went on a tour to, is it Godofus Falls?
Yes.
Oh, they are beautiful.
We'll definitely do a vlog
amazing.
on that.
There's a vlog coming with that.
Again, it probably won't be that long. We'll see. We'll put the town on before it. Do a bit, there's a bit of a out and out of the gardens at the end, which I think they used to pad out the tour. It was okay. It was okay.
Out and out.
Out and out. It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But after the waterfalls, it was a bit.
Yeah, it was a bit. We were rushed around those waterfalls, but they were beautiful. It's the waterfalls where they turned their back on the old gods, and they threw in the statues of the old gods, including Thor and Odin, into the waterfalls for Christ, basically for Christianity. But so powerful in the water.
It's so crisp and clear and clean.
Huge energies.
Yeah, so that's coming. Godfrey Falls. And
then after that, it was working our way back to Scotland.
Yes, so we had a day at sea, didn't we?
And then we went to the Callanish Stones.
On the Isle of Lewis.
Yes.
So we docked at Stoneway eventually because apparently we had some quite bad weather. I slept through it all. And it was quite bad when we went to bed, wasn't it? It was rocky, the boat. But apparently we hit some really bad weather because we ended up coming to Stoneway 2 hours late, I think. And then when we got there, they couldn't dock because the wind was too strong. So we ended up not docking until about 1 o'clock. So, which was a bit annoying for me because I booked a car.
Yeah.
But we used it. We used it just to go to the, what's it called?
Callanish
Stones.
So allegedly they are where they think that Diana Gabaldon got the inspiration from for Outlander. And you can it's meant to be Inverness in the books, but it's not Inverness in real life. It's right at the top of Scotland. But yeah, they were mysterious, but I was... they had an energy with them, didn't they? And we weren't sure what that energy was. There was a mysteriousness there.
Picture this, they're out in the middle of nowhere, on an island right up north, where people could get to anything.
Yeah.
So they had that
You can
energy.
feel that. It was a case of, yes, we've seen it, let's leave. Do you know what I mean? It was like, you've been to like Stonehenge, you don't feel that. I didn't feel that day that I went, but this just feels a little bit like there's no control here over who has access to these stones. It just felt as though. But they're interesting. It's very bleak up there, and you think, God, back in the day of when these stones were built, why they were built in the form of a cross, etc., even though it was before Christianity.
Way before Christianity.
So interesting. And then after that, we stopped in Greenwich, and we just took it easy that day. Went for a little tootle into Greenwich, which Greenwich is Greenwich, and we met up with my auntie and uncle.
If you've ever been to
for
Greenwich,
lunch.
you know Greenwich.
Greenwich is just Greenwich.
Yeah.
We met up at there's a restaurant called Scott's, and the park. We met up with my auntie and uncle for lunch, which is a nice place, isn't it?
It's a lovely, lovely, lovely restaurant. The food is top notch. The service is fantastic. I can't say bad about it really. No problems with allergens. They just sorted us out. Not
very
a problem.
nice.
You can't have. You gluten and dairy. Oh, you can't have that sauce. We'll put a different sauce on, and it was amazing.
That's what they should be like.
We know exactly what's in our food. That's what I'd like as a good restaurant, especially when you're paying the money you're paying. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap. Don't get me wrong. It was a lovely restaurant though. Felt like Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon on the trip.
Yeah.
It was one of those kind of restaurants.
Mike. Watching this Mike now, itchy nose. So yeah, then we sailed out with what was it called? The Waverley sailed us out of Greenwich. So that's always a nice view to go out of Greenwich on the boat.
It was the last pedal boat, steam paddle boat left. Very good, yeah.
And then it was back to the UK. Just to share some of the gifts that we've got.
Yeah, so where do you want to start?
Should we do some birthday? So I got these for my birthday by Ruth Halden. And I actually chose these myself, didn't I? Because we got them from Lincoln.
Yeah.
So it's a necklace.
Price on it.
Earrings. There you go. I'll show you the earrings in a minute. Oops. Price on them again. Don't matter, does it?
Don't really. Shows the cheapskate I am.
Yeah, I'll show you price. They're nice though. Do you want to pass over the other stuff?
And I bought you some perfumes as well.
You bought me some perfumes, yes, some of my favourite perfumes. So obviously I'm using those now.
And I bought you this.
You bought me this. You bought me this in Stoneway, and it's by a...
So it was a beautiful little church, and it was a little market, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's it there. It's lovely, isn't it?
It is beautiful. She had some lovely jewellery.
Yeah. Reasonable as well. What is she called? Because we had a look at this, didn't we?
There's a sticker on it somewhere. What have you done with it?
She's called Moonstone Designs, and it's Maria MacLeod 12@gmail.com. By Marina MacLeod.
MacLeod. By
Marina MacLeod, I Love Louis. As in Lewis, not Louis, as in Prince Louis. Okay.
Al Lewis. Yeah. Nice.
Is it I Love Louis or I Love Lewis?
Al Lewis, that's
I Love Lewis. And then we've got some...
So we've got some Inspiration Corners coming up.
Yeah, Viking Oracle. We've not even opened these yet.
No.
So we got the Viking Oracles by Wisdom of the Ancient
We
Norse.
spent quite a lot of money in Iceland. It's not a cheap place, is it? Let's put it that way.
No.
Can't remember how much that book was we bought for you. Was it this one? Wasn't cheap, was it?
I'm just going to give you all a bit of ASMR because I know people like to hear the sound of opening. I do actually when I'm watching stuff. I like it when people open things.
Triggered me a bit because I'm thinking, I bet I could buy all this from Amazon. But
know,
it's like, no, we'll buy it on holiday. It's a nice thing to do.
Otherwise, these places don't make money.
No.
They really don't. So these are the cards.
So we've got two sets, didn't we?
Yeah. I won't go through them all with you, but...
So you'll have fun me trying to pronounce the names.
And me. I'm looking now thinking, whoops.
What have we done?
Whoops.
Watch it, the guidebook being Norwegian.
Odin, here he is. Odin.
Iwa. Do not be afraid of death. It's just another part of life. Nice book.
Yeah.
So that's one. And this is the other set. Oh. I want to start.
Yep.
Don't want to. That's what I hate about. It's a bit blunt, these scissors. Ooh. This is a really nice set, isn't it?
Yeah, look at the box as well. It's a nice
Hardback
box, isn't
book.
it? Yes, and I'll show them the inside of the box. That's the inside of the box. That's the outside.
Valahorn.
Do you want to open this bit up?
Can do.
Oh,
Oh, 2 sets of cards.
3 sets of cards.
Oh, interesting.
Wealth.
Interesting. I have to read what that means. It's like 3 different sets of cards with different covers, isn't it?
We'll leave those like that then. And
We'll leave that for now and we'll work it out. Weren't sure of that when it happened. Oh, here we go. Some beautiful Icelandic sayings and names. We can read that bit.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll pop the book in
Put
there.
that back in there. And we've also
that's-
bought some of these.
Runes.
We're gonna-
I've got runes, haven't I? But you've not got any runes.
I've not got any runes, so these are for me. And this is something that we might try and start to learn together, if you're so interested. Oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, another nice guidebook. I think we'll need that one. This is where we turn out there's something missing from the box.
No.
I've got all the way back to Iceland to take it back. Nice. Bar bag. Oh, they're wooden ones, these, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're not made of bone.
So this is the
God.
book.
That's really tight. Ooh. Nice wooden runes. Very nice. I have to work them all out now. That's going to be fun. I won't get them all out just yet. Put them back in the box. And you've got a couple of books.
Yes.
Right. Oh, back in there. Always never go back in the box the same way, do they? Which one do you want first? The one that's already open?
Yeah. Then I got this one, which is called Norse Magic Spellcrafting with the Gods and Goddesses of the Nordic Tradition. And that's by Marie Bruce. Nice big book with all kinds of wisdom in it.
Interesting. Oh.
How to be more of a Sigma lone wolf. Stay true to yourself regardless of what others might think. Don't be afraid to go against the grain. Don't always follow the pack, find your own path. Become self-reliant.
I see.
So that's magic, Norse magic, spellcrafting with the gods and goddesses of the Nordic tradition.
And you've got this, which was very expensive.
And I got this one, which I just got it. It was £50 or just over £50.
I think it was, yeah.
Oh God.
We didn't realise. I didn't gauge out what the exchange rate was when we bought it. I might have coughed at it when we bought it. It wasn't until my Monza came through.
But again,
But it's a nice book. Careful.
No, I knew what I was doing.
She did. She looked like she knew what she was doing.
So this is a belting of a book. It's called Tales of Norse Mythology by Helen A. Gruber.
Look
Look at that.
the beauty in it.
The back of it. Bookmark.
You did a book review on that one.
Yeah. So I'm just going to work my way through it. Hell, Loki's offspring. The Valkyries.
Nice, isn't it?
Work my way through this. The Norns, the Three Fates. I've got that statue.
It's definitely a nice produced book, isn't it? Lovely.
All the different.
Nice.
Richie knows. Back to hay fever land. So yeah, going to work my way through that.
That's rubbish to put away.
And we've decided as well, because of this bit, just, I don't know if it's we've changed, the world changed, cruising has changed, but we've decided actual cruising we're going to have a break from, aren't we? Because it's just not for us at the minute. It's too much. It's too busy, too fast, too factory-like, on ship, off ship, on ship, off ship. And I actually didn't realise how unfreeing it is. Eating at certain times, visiting places at certain times, being caught up in another ship's time. You know, like when we went to the Canalish Stones, we lost all the afternoon because we had to wait for the shuttle to get back. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get back. Whereas if we'd have been self-catering, we'd have got the car steadied, had a nice breakfast, etc., and a bit of lunch. We'd have gone to the Stones. We'd have been able to, you know, enjoy it more. And then go for a coffee afterwards and just take it easy, whereas you had to be and it's just the big eating culture that's on ships.
Yeah.
The me, myself and I energy that's on ships at the minute. There's various reasons for that. Yeah, we need a much more steadier pace of holiday.
I think we do. It's too much energy on that. There's too many people on that ship. And I linked it to, I've been reading, on holiday I've been reading a lot about the Romans and things like that, and Greeks and old Cohen Ingerson books. And you just feel that energy of being in ancient Rome, where they're all living in such a small space. That's what a ship is.
Yeah.
I mean, those cabins are beautiful and they're nice, but they're only little at the end of the day. They're no bigger than a little shanty, or you know what I mean. And they've all got beautiful facilities. You're not swilling your own pee, but you're surrounded by all that energy.
I don't think we're meant to be. I don't think we're meant to be. We're not meant to be surrounded by all that stir crazy energy as well. People that I don't know why they're going on cruises, but they can't settle. They're just pacing.
Yeah, the hamsters in a wheel, aren't they?
And it's exhausting. Even like sea days where you go and you get your book and you just chill on your sunbed, they're just pacing the decks and they're just walking here, there, dressed. I mean, we saw people dressed up like they were going hiking, and they were on ship for the day. So they weren't. There were no mountains on it in a ship. They had the big boots on the pot. It was bizarre, wasn't it?
I think a lot of it tended to be because they didn't bring much luggage. We had 4 cases of luggage, but you're allowed to take as much as you want on. So it's like, well, we'll take as much as we need. But some people turn up with just a case, so they're having to wear the same clothes over and over again. So they're almost on sea days wearing what they'd wear when they go to port, I think. Or it just maybe that's how they're comfortable, I don't know. But yeah, it was not very relaxing. When I said, oh, we're going to have this many sea days, I can't remember how many it was now, 7, 6?
Quite a few.
6 or 7 sea days. And I thought we'd have a really relaxing time. But it's very difficult to relax when there's people constantly walking past you. And unfortunately, with the way the Queen Anne is, there's an indoor pool, isn't there, where it's got a motorised roof so it can be indoor or outdoor. And it's in the middle of the ship. But right next to it, they've got what they call the first class area. And it stops people from traversing one side of the ship to the other on the top deck. Because there's like locked doors, so people can't get from the back of the ship past the middle to the front of the ship. And so they're having to go down, go through the Lido, which is not great, is it? You don't want people walking through Lidos when they're not eating. And then they're walking through the pool area as well. And it's become a corridor, which makes it not very, very good, which is disappointing. Just so they can have an area for the people that have paid a shitload more money.
Yawning then.
So yeah, and usually have those areas at one side of the ship or the other. But I think they've probably learned that if you have it at the front or back, they're not usually the best areas.
Yeah, they've slammed them right in the middle.
They've put it in the best area, but they've made it so awkward for everybody else.
It's a class system, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what they seem to be going back down to the White Star system. Women, children, and owners first.
Because you get the White Star service on Cunard, which obviously White Star Line was buying Titanic, but they seem to be going back to that old
way of doing it, and I think they're just trying to put the prices up slowly but surely, and people think, oh, we all want that, and it just makes it a bit. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
But yeah,
we did enjoy this holiday.
Yeah,
but there's bits that were a bit frustrating.
Iceland was lovely. Scotland, the places were lovely, but there's aspects that no longer work with us.
And I think we're not getting that relaxing time. And we're not getting the time to do the vlogs that we want to do for this channel either. So I'm not getting the time to be able to think about how I'm going to do the shooting. And we're rushing constantly, rushing. So I'm having to shoot. Oh, I have to do it best I can, which is no good really.
Because of the cruising, on that cruise.
Yeah, because you don't get enough time. No. You don't get enough time in that day. If we say we went on our own, we could come back tomorrow and get more footage if we needed to. But there, you just cannot. And you say it's like the Godford Falls. It was literally it's 10-minute walk there, 10-minute walk back. You've got 40 minutes. What? 10-minute walk there, 10-minute walk back. You've got 40.
It takes 10 minutes to get on and off the coaches for various reasons.
So yeah, so you ain't got much time at all. So you're rushing there, you're having to rush back, and you don't really enjoy it as much as you wanted to. You'd probably have spent a lot longer there if you could have done. Granted, the weather wasn't fantastic, so it was like horizontal rain and wind and things like that. So again, the footage isn't fantastic that I've done because of the conditions. But again, I could have probably fought around it, had some time, maybe put the mics on and tried to dispel some of the wind. But I just did not have that time, unfortunately, which is disappointing. And you know, yes, we were driving along, and I could probably set the mics up on the bus. But I wasn't expecting it to be such a short duration when we got there. I thought we'd have some time, maybe do some video content. You know what I mean? Do a nice little reading.
No, they're very quick. And it is what it is. We've seen it though, and it was good.
It was beautiful. It was very nice.
Perpetual daylight, so you don't get no dark nights. But that triggers me because I love the dark. Believe it or not, I love the dark skies. I love stars and the moon and the closing down of the day. So yes, what was your June like? Did you enjoy it? What emotion were going to have?
I don't know. Have we finished? Is that everything? That's the last thing. Changing attitudes towards cruising.
Yeah.
So this next holiday, we're going to Cornwall, aren't we? And it's in our own pace. We've got an Airbnb. It's not Airbnb. It's like an Airbnb.
Cottage.
It's a cottage. I don't know which company
Cottage
it is.
rental.
Yeah. So we've got a cottage right on the beach, and everything's within our own time. Let's see if I can get better footage.
You will be able to.
Blowing smoke.
You will be able to.
It all depends on the weather, I'm sure. But yes, hopefully we'll have more time. We'll be able to do everything we want to do and spend more time in each location and not get rushed, which is great.
Yes.
I've put a belly on though, so I've got to go back to the gym.
He's put a belly on.
Too many cakes.
I know. But it's holidays, isn't it?
It is, yes. So we did enjoy it. You don't come back from a holiday with a belly if you've not enjoyed it to some degree.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
So, if you get to the end of this video and you would like to leave a comment, I'm not sure what to put, leave us a parasol emoji for, with the beach. Type in beach and it'll come up with the parasol.
I'll put a ship.
Or a ship.
Yeah. Or waterfall. I don't know if there's a waterfall emoji.
You think there is a waterfall emoji, mountains?
Volcano.
Yes.
Yes. You're liking this now, aren't you?
And as always, like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
So long.